Alright guys, what is up and welcome back. So today I'm alone on the range doing some carbine proficiency drills that I've got marked down in my book. These here are some low round count drills, and I figured it's good to record yourself shooting anyway, so why not bring y'all along for the ride. So I've got a couple different drills here. The total round count for this between for just your rifle, it ends up being, so this entire thing will end up being about 92 rounds rifle. I'm not doing all of them today. I just wanted to run just a couple of them. But these are essentially just going to be kind of back to the basics drills. So firing a couple rounds standing, kneeling, prone, so on and so forth. I'm not going to be running any pistol today, so we'll be running the drills that require pistol, but also some movement advancement towards the target, a couple of actual just moving drills. Just to kind of keep things interesting. So everything will be done on a timer. This first one is going to be done at 50 yards on a piece of steel. This is a either hit or miss, pass or fail. So there are no makeup shots with this. So the 92 rounds throughout this entire course of fire that you end up doing, that is it. You don't make up shots. It's just going to be kind of towards your time. Charlies, whenever the ones that are on paper, are counted plus 1 second. Deltas are plus 3 seconds, and mics are going to be plus 5 seconds overall onto your time. It's up to you, to be honest, or if you've got buddies that you're able to do this kind of stuff with on the range, same thing. I'll also annotate exactly what the drills are here at the end. I'll go ahead and screenshot my notebook or take a picture of my notebook and put it in there for you as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this first one going. All right, and first up, keeping it simple, it's going to be 3 rounds standing, kneel 3 rounds, prone 3 rounds. It's also worth noting that this is all to be done in kit, whether that be a chest rig or a plate carrier. Chest rig's what I have here today, but you can also run a plate carrier. I'll be doing the whole thing this weekend and have someone out to be helping record, so it'll be like a full version of this as well. You probably can't see the prone, but all 3 of those are hits. 1962 for the time. All right, next up, it's also worth noting that I did not have my stock set to the correct length of pull there, so you probably noticed on the prone the gun was rocking around a little bit. That's because I was freehanding it. The stock wasn't actually in my shoulder, and because of how I have the eye relief and everything set up on the scope, just grab my right eye relief, I had to push out a little bit. But that is what it is. That's why you train, so you'll be able to do that kind of thing. If, for whatever reason, your stock isn't set, you know how to react to it. So next, well, we're just going to do 1 round standing, take a knee, 1 round kneeling, 50 yards. All right, let's go ahead and run that again. Time on that was 6:34. Again, doing stuff like taking a knee while you're doing this, when you're out, sit in the open, you're engaging, you want to take a knee, not just stand up, make yourself a big target, make yourself a smaller target. All right, let's go ahead and do that again. Go ahead and run it again. All right, good. 7:19. So, stock set the correct length of pull that time. Again, generally, if you're setting length of pull, what you want to do is make sure that your arm is at a 90-degree bend. And whenever you're grabbing that, you want your arm to remain at a 90-degree bend and the stock touch your bicep. That's how you know if the length of pull is correct for you. See, a lot of guys, they like to run their stocks real close, collapsed, or just all the way out. You want to make sure that you are setting it correct to you. Mine generally is 1 click in from all the way out, and that's going to be my ideal length of pull. All right, this next one, I'm going to end up having to film it in 2 parts, so I'm not going to actually run the drill straight, just because I only have 1 camera out here. I don't have anybody to move with me. But essentially, you're going to be firing. You're going to engage with a controlled pair, so 2 rounds, 2 sight pictures. So the difference between controlled pairs and hammered pairs is controlled pair is you are firing, reacquiring your sight, firing. Hammered pairs, whenever you're up close, you just boop, boop, real quick double tap like that. So that's going to be a controlled or a hammered pair rather. So you're going to be doing 2 controlled pairs here. You're going to start at the 50-yard line, which is where we're at right now. For the first one, again, when I get on steel, it's either a hit or miss, no makeup shots. You're going to sprint to the 25, which is up ahead, and then you're going to do a second control pair. Again, because I only have 1 camera here, I'm going to engage the first one, set up my camera, come back, sprint 25 yards, set up the camera for the second one. It's just going to be what it is for that, but for cinematic purposes, you'll be able to see pretty much the entirety of the drill. All right, next up, it's going to be the same thing, a little bit closer. We're going to 25 to 15. It's going to be, this is going to be on paper. So again, keep it in mind when you're doing this, you want to don't re-up your mags. Keep the same mag in the gun that you've been using, mainly because you want reloads to come organically. It's 92 rounds, so you should have roughly 3 organic reloads throughout the entire thing. But you're going to start calling at the 25-yard line. On the beep, you're going to do control pair on the paper. Then you're going to move to the 15-yard line. Same thing, control pair on the paper. You want to hustle between each of the 2 lines. So go ahead and run this. All right, that easy. And keep it in mind, you can do these drills more than once. The force of fire just calls for basically 1 each. It's essentially looking for a test. You're going to, for each shooter, they're going to get their own piece of paper, so you're not going to be shooting each other's paper in between each one. You can set up multiple targets or just run 1 person through the entire thing and reface at the end of each one. But regardless, you want the same target because you want to know the shooter's particular Charlies, deltas, and misses. All right, next up, again, you're doing similar type movement, except this time instead of just doing a control pair, you're going to be running a failure to stop drill. So it's going to be 2 to the chest, 1 to either the head or the pelvic girdle. You can do this from 15 yards, move up 5 yards to the 10-yard line, do it at 10 yards as well. Alright, boogered that one up, so I'm going to end up getting a mic with the one that's in the head. Instead of doing a failure to stop, I just did 3 to the chest. But the second one I did 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. Second round, well, everything was in A zone that was shot at the paper. Also worth noting that if you're running a setup similar to this, where you've got a primary optic and a secondary, close range drills like this are a good time to work between the 2 different optics. Generally, I'm going to have my primary optic set to about 3 power, not all the way up to 8 power, and then I'll have my secondary optic here, which was a little bit dim, but I'll still be able to see the dot. I'll be able to pick it up and use it as well, but I don't always need the maximum magnification on that. Generally, in the most of the stuff that you're doing, 3-4x is going to be plenty, but it's nice to have that extra 4 power on top of it if you need it. So go ahead, let's set up the next drill. All right, next up is going to be some lateral movement, so movement from left to right, right to left, depending on if you're right-handed or wrong-handed. This may be difficult for you or easier for you, but you're going to do it from both directions. So each individual, whether you're a lefty or a righty, you're going to have an advantage at some point because somebody's going to have to be firing in an awkward position. So doing this drill at 7 yards. You can run with either your primary optic or your top dot as well. And again, to be done under timer. 756. Gun ran dry at a good time. Kind of messes up how that drill is supposed to be done. All of those are in. We'll start it from the other side now. $195 for the time on that. And basically it's just from your time to acquire the target to actually getting down and engaging it. All right, got 2 more drills we're gonna do. These are all the ones that are rifle only. The rest of them are gonna require a pistol because you'll be doing transitions and stuff. So both of these are from 7 to 3 yards. The first one you're going to do failure to stop drill, 7 to 3, so it's gonna be a movement drill. So 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. You're gonna run that times 2. So you're gonna do 2 chest, 1 head, 2 chest, 1 head, between 7 and 3 yards. You want to try not outrun yourself. Second one, it's going to be hammered pairs. Same exact concept. All right. So on the beep. All those are A-zone. That was 402. All right, hammer pairs. Dropped 1 Charlie. Overdrove a little bit and got 1 Charlie. Last drill of the day too, but 216 for the time. So that's just a couple of the drills that I run. There'll be a little bit more in depth of a video this weekend, or I'm going to film this weekend. I don't know when it'll be out, but kind of showcasing a little bit more of what it is exactly we do. But kind of figured give you guys a taste. I'm going to have some other guys out here as well, so it won't just be footage of me shooting. It'll be footage of also some fairly new shooters as well. But if you guys do have any questions, just drop them down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I appreciate you guys watching. Real quick as well, I forgot to film the target for you, but as you can see, I've got 1 mic here because I did 2 to the chest or 3 to the chest and none of the head on one of those failure to stop drills, so that counts as a miss, seeing as or procedural 5 seconds as well. And then I've got another +1 for this Charlie. That was the very last drill that I was driving the gun with my shoulder, kind of overdrove it a little bit with movement. My fault, but you know, it is what it is. Trying to run the gun fast, that's how it is. Still an acceptable hit, but it does add 1 second overall to your time. So the way that you would generally score this is between each drill, you would write down your time. You would also write down if you had any misses, as well as any C-zone. So these little cutout here inside that guy, or D-zone, which still is hitting the target, but just barely hitting the outer edge. The only one that would not, I would say, count towards is if you were doing girdle shots for the failure to stop. But generally, I tell people just to run headshots. A little bit better practice there, but you can also break them down by hitting them in the pelvis. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's the target.